Alrighty, guys, we're back for Mono Black Aggro, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this one is rotation proof for the upcoming rotation. Nice. We have 4 Nezumi Linkbreaker. 1 mana 1/1. When it dies, you create one of those 1/1 mercenaries. Cool. We also have 4 Infestation Sage. 1 mana 1/1. When it dies, you create one of those flying insect tokens. Nice. We have 3 Desperate Measures. This is a 1 black mana instant speed. Target creature gets +1/-1 until end of turn. When it dies under your control this turn, draw 2 cards. So potentially using it as removal sometimes on the right creature. Other than that, you're probably using it on your own creatures to go ahead and restock your hand. So we have a couple Dark Confidants here. It's a 2 mana, 2/1 at the beginning of your upkeep. Reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. That's a great way to keep your hand nice and stocked up, and hopefully we're not too worried about losing that extra life, especially since we do have a little bit of life gain in here between Vengeful Bloodwitch making the cut as a 4 of, and also Sephiroth making the cut as a 3 of as well. A 3 mana 3/3. When it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. So another way to keep your hand potentially stocked up, especially if you're sacrificing something great like the Infestation Sage or something. So whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, you transform Sephiroth. So I'm actually not going to go over the backside of Sephiroth right now, but it's pretty decent, bro. We do have some removal packed in, a couple fells. This could totally be your removal of choice, and same concept with a Nowhere to Run, making the cut as a 2 of as well. All the removal in here can be your removal of choice. Even the Desperate Measures can be your removal of choice, okay? So we have 4 Rot-Curse Rakshasa. This is a 2 mana, 5/5 trample decayed demon. So decayed, for anyone who doesn't know, is it can't block, and when it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. So it does have Renew on here for X and double black. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a Decayed counter on each of X target creatures. Okay. Activate only as a sorcery. So that's actually pretty cool, right? So we do have a couple Unstoppable Slashers. That's, of course, going to pair beautifully with our top end Bloodletter of Aclazotz, acting as a powerful 4-drop demon, and we do have a demon theme packed in with a couple Unholy Annex as well. So it's not completely leaning demons. We're still trying to do the aggressive thing for sure. So we do have 24 total mana, and 2 of them are Midgar, City of Mako for that adventure side here. It's a 2 and a black sorcery speed adventure. You may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. Nice. Outside of that, hopefully it coming down as a tap land doesn't hold us up too often. Over in the honorable mentions, I thought about Greedy Freebooter, and looks like I have Shoot the Sheriff over here because I wanted to make sure to remind myself to tell you guys your removal of choice, right? And I will say this, Shoot the Sheriff is a pretty decent one. Okay, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? There's a lot of things going on in this build. A lot of different concepts here. It's not like just straight up mono black sacrifice. We really are trying to be mono black aggro. So I don't know. I think maybe it'll have... Well, hold on. Let me decide if I'm keeping this first. It's a little slow. I like the early removal, and there's a lot we can draw into for our 2 and 3. So yeah, we can keep this. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, how's the build gonna be? I think it's gonna be decent. We'll see. If it can land on an identity here, if it can decide what it wants to do. All right, get the Linkbreaker down. We don't even worry about the Midgar, because we could easily just find more mana first. Yeah, we do as well. We get to keep Nowhere to Run open since it has Flash. see what their turn 2 looks like in Golgari colors. It's going to be Mosswood Dread Knight. That's probably worth popping, I guess. They get to redo it, the whole adventure side thing next turn, but I don't really mind that. Do I? Do I mind that? Not really sure. Sacrifice Linkbreaker, get the Mercenary, draw 2 cards, Unstoppable Slasher, nice, holy cow. They do the Dread Knight thing, 3rd mana, it's going to be a Wastes, and Llanowar Elves, very nice turn for the opponent for sure. So 4th mana, we could get a swing. I wouldn't mind just establishing Slasher for the turn, get the Midgar down as a tap land. We could start with the swing, see what they do if they take the 1. Yeah, establishing Unstoppable Slasher as a surprise, then next turn, maybe Bloodletter can actually do the thing. The opponent's deciding on a block here. Probably wouldn't be a terrible trade for them depending on what's in hand. The big thing about Golgari, though, is a lot of spot removal packed in. Alright, we get the 1 through. Yeah, we can get the Midgar down and Unstoppable Slasher for the turn. We don't really mind that. So it's going to be Anoint, which unfortunately exiles. That's actually pretty brutal. Anoint, that's going to be 1 rotating. That'll be nice. Because the exile has been brutal. Alright, well, we can expect Bloodletter to die. If it's another Anoint, though, that does not hit the Bloodletter. Alright, I'll swing. I'm pretty sure they block no matter what, though. They don't really anticipate any combat tricks from Mono Black. And then we can go ahead and get the Bloodletter down. If this was a 2-1, of course we would have played Bloodletter first, but... well, I mean, I guess Bloodletter first matters regardless if we would have actually gotten it through. Right, because getting an extra 2 through, if we would have cheesed it, we still would have had 1 Swamp for a potential combat trick, but either way, the opponent doesn't play into it. They call our bluff easily there. So Dread Knight comes down. Desperate Measures is pretty good. But with all this mana, we might as well just get the Confidant down. Or Confidant? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yep, that's what we do. And eventually, this Mercenary probably gets popped to our Desperate Measures. We're in a lot of danger, guys, and we're in that mid-game now against Golgari, and Golgari really knows how to do the mid-game thing and do it well. Virtue comes down. Go ahead and pick up a cut down from their grave with the Scrap Forger. Alright, nowhere to run. And a Rot-Curse Rakshasa. So, nowhere to run can pop the Scrap Forger. We really don't want to pop the Dread Knight. Start swinging in the air with Aclazotz. If we do that, we wouldn't mind finding a second Aclazotz off the Desperate Measures or something. Or we could just boost it with the Mercenary. Get 6 through in the air that way. Can actually do Desperate Measures on the Aclazotz too, right? Get 8 through in the air. I think I want to save that though. Keep the nowhere to run before they're gonna reanimate our Bloodletter, guys, with the Virtue. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. We're kind of in danger. Keep the blocker on the ground. Oh, Mercenary ability sorcery only. Well, that's not great news. I guess we have an extra blocker now. I would have definitely liked to get an extra couple damage through, though. Rot-Curse doesn't block, so... Desperate Measures is instant. Nowhere to run. We better keep just in case. We might actually be forced to block the Dread Knight, or hit the Dread Knight with the nowhere to run. Alright. Virtue brings back our Bloodletter. That's very bad news. But if the opponent's not careful here, okay, they do have a go for the throat for the other Bloodletter, and then they're going to be very happy to bring that other Bloodletter back with the Virtue next turn, so... Oh yeah, we're in danger. The extra card draw on the Confidant's just terrific, though. So we can chump the Restless Cottage. We can pop the Dread Knight. They go for the swing on the Scrap Gorger too here. We can actually block Scrap Gorger with the 1/1. Oh, I guess block Restless Cottage is better. Then go Desperate Measures. Yeah, we don't want to block the one with Trample, though. I know that much. All of this is double damage, too. We could trade into Dread Knight and Confidant, but I'd rather see more off the top. Alright, so I suppose we block here. We go nowhere to run onto Scrap Gorger, let them keep the Dread Knight. We're going to be taking 6 from that. And then before the actual block goes through, we Desperate Measures the 1/1. Draw 2 cards here. And then Restless Cottage doesn't have Trample. And then we see even more off the top from the Confidant. Could you imagine if we had Bloodwitch on the board this whole time? Oh my goodness. and 3 Sephiroth in here as well, which is pretty crazy. So we're down to 10 now. Yeah, the second Bloodletter from the grave from the Virtue, we weren't able to get there fast enough this game for sure. But getting Vengeful Bloodwitch down, still establishing some blockers on the ground. I mean, it's still pretty terrific, isn't it? We'll swing with the Rot-Curse. See what they do here. They might just take the 5. Yeah, take 4 instead. They let Llanowar Elves die. They use the food token. That's pretty good for them, actually. They go back up to 15, down to 11. 2 creatures die. And one of them was ours, of course. So we do have Rot-Curse in the grave. We could put Decayed on all of their creatures. For 5 mana. But if we... I mean, the Dread Knight's terrible to put Decayed on. I think we just dump our hand and hope they don't have something to boost that Bloodletter to lethal damage in the air. Is that okay, guys? I don't know, man. They do power up the cottage. They do go for that full swing. So we take 6 in the air. No, 8 in the air. My bad, guys. Okay, they do end up exiling with the Restless Cottage. That's a good exile for sure. So we chump. Then I suppose we should full block. Other words, we're going to take 10. Actually, it looks like this, right? We'll take the 10 and hope that they don't have 1 extra damage to push through. Keep the Bloodwitch around. Okay, guys. I hope I'm doing this well for you. They go for food. They go back up to 13. Ow. Ow? Wait a minute. I miscounted. What did I do? Oh, no. Well, wait a minute. Down to -1. I guess even with the Bloodwitch block, we still would have been down to 0. Wait a minute. What am I doing wrong here, guys? We double it, and then we double it again. It's twice and then twice. And I took 1 on the ground from Trample. Oh, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, the 1 on the ground from Trample was doubled to 2 and then doubled to 4. That's what I'm missing, isn't it? And then the 2 in the air doubled to 4, then doubled to 8. Oh, yeah. So we didn't have any good blocks, because we, even with a full block with Bloodwitch, we would have went right down to 0. Yeah. Yeah, Chi-Chi opponent, huh? Wow, we actually showcased a lot of the deck list there. For real. I'm kind of impressed with what we were capable of doing in the mid-game versus Golgari. If they missed removal for second Bloodletter, we probably would have won, for sure, right? Or if we had early Bloodwitch or something, that also probably would have bit the dust, though. It's a weird one where we don't... Like, it's a little slow, but also we have a lot of key pieces in hand. The opponent goes first, which is super sketchy when we're going this slow, but I think it would be a weird mulligan, too. Intimidation tactics. They probably take Bloodwitch because we're... Oh! So far away from it. Or we're so far away from everything else is what I was going to say. But they take Slasher, probably to stop the combo with Bloodletter. But they probably have so much removal in Mono Black anyways. Do this before combat. Okay, nice. It's going to be a cut down for Bloodwitch. Okay. Okay, swing. We get to keep Infestation Sage. They know we have Sephiroth. It's a great sacrifice for Sephiroth. They got their own Unstoppable Slasher, which is a little sketchy. Yeah, we don't want to swing into that. Get some card draw here off the Sephiroth. Get some life gain. Another Bloodwitch is terrific news. Yeah, something with this version of Mono Black Aggro, like other aggro deck lists, like you look at Mono Green Aggro or something, or Bunny Aggro, you got ways to get past the opponent's chump blockers. You have Trample, right? This deck list's version of Trample is kind of sort of what Sacrifice deck lists do, right? With the Bloodwitch and whatnot. We're pinging through to the opponent's face. Guys, we're in so much danger. Holy cow. What a turn for the opponent. Wow. It's like I said, the opponent going first is super scary, and we can see why. And also, this is a big flood for 24 mana. 6 mana in the top 12. All right. I guess we're going to start taking the slasher damage down to 9. Desperate Measures can pop the Deep Cavern Bat, or we can draw 2 on our Bloodwitch after a block into a Slasher. Now, if we pop the Deep Cavern Bat, we get Bloodletter down, which does not block Slasher very well. So, if we do Desperate Measures this turn, we could find more blockers as well. Taking 1, then another 2, we go down to 3, unless they find their own Bloodletter. Alright. We're going to go for the block on the Bloodwitch instead. Crap, they do find their own Bloodletter. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess it is what it is, huh? It's going to happen sometimes, man. You got to laugh a little bit. So we go back up to 10. We could find instant speed spot removal for the Slasher. We do have... Okay, it's not going to be, though. So... we do have the flash enchantment that I can't remember the name of. The opponent knocked all the words out of my head. Scary business, man. A little bit of a flood. We even saw more swamps off of the card draw, too. The second Sephiroth is pretty good, but all of our creatures got picked apart so fast there. All right, guys. I'm pretty sure we can get some victories. Let's keep the ball rolling, huh? Sometimes it lines up in some funny ways for the opponent to where just more testing required for sure, you know? Let's see what we can get done here. All right. Yeah, we might need more removal too for this style of deck list. We might want even more Nowhere to Run. That's what it's called, by the way. Nowhere to Run. That's a silly one to forget because of how often we see it. With all these early plays, we definitely keep Midgar as an adventure, especially with how much mana we've been seeing. Leyline of Hope, Ruin Lurker Bat for the opponent's first turn here. Well, that's scary. That's a pretty good first turn. Essence Channeler. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. If we would have had Desperate Measures open, we could have popped the Channeler. A Fell's really good. Probably pop the Channeler now before it's too late. They get an extra counter on Ruin Lurker Bat. They get a bunch of life gain. I mean, actually, nowhere to run. Could just be kept open, too. But I think we just do this now. Counter onto the Ruin Lurker Bat. Yeah, before it gets out of hand, before there's too many counters to distribute. Can't block in the air anyways, so you might as well swing, get him down to 21. Alright, a Johnny's Pridemate. That's also pretty scary. Hopefully they don't have instant speed life gain, because nowhere to run. We really don't want to pass it back either. We probably want to do that right away. Without more mana, we want City of Mako to come down as our third. We could have drawn on Desperate Measures first, too. Alright, let's see if it hits. It does, thank goodness. The opponent's down to 1 card in hand. Of course, they get some card draw here, but... yeah, hopefully we can find a way to get sustainable enough. Ruin Lurker Bat. Okay, they go up to 26 here. 1 more turn and they're all going to get +2/+2, which is terrifying business. Might want to keep Desperate Measures open. Get the other Infestation Sage down. Desperate Measures open. We have options. We could go, if they full swing, pop a Sage. Block in the air. They go up to 28. So I guess we swing. We don't know what's left in their hand either, so... yeah, the Leyline of Hope is going to be a big problem. Alright, Desperate Measures open. Hopefully I'm playing this out well enough for you guys, too. Because there's some tough decisions for real. More flying creatures is really bad news. Alright, I do go for the swing. So we will try this, right? I think it's totally worth it. Restock our hand. Desperate Measures, Unholy, Annex. Get a block into Ruin Lurker. They go to 27. Then all their creatures get a boost. No, they go to 30. Wait a minute. How does magic work, guys? What happened? Did the Leyline kick in before the death? Oh, no, guys. That's really bad news. I will say this, though. Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber was really good. Holy cow. We could start with the swing on the Rot-Curse. They probably block, right? Because they gain so much life from the life gain. Their Ruin Lurker Bats keep... okay, actually, so they're going to lose the +2/+2. So now we have Desperate Measures to pop their own creature. Or Rot-Curse... put Decayed on all their creatures. That works. Let's do that. Let's do that instead, right? X is 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So they have 1 good swing with their creatures. I hope they start missing some flyers, because if they get more flyers for the turn... okay, Vanguard's pretty good for them, but at least we can chump on the ground. Oh, that's 10 damage coming in the air. Dude, Leyline of Hope on that turn 1 has to be one of the greatest things I've seen life gain do in a while. And we don't usually see Leyline of Hope. And why? Why don't we usually see it? Another Unholy Annex. So Decayed on all their creatures. I mean, that was just so good, but they're at 40, guys. They're at 40. Alright, well, I guess we'll get a 6/6 demon. That blocks the Vanguard pretty well. Maybe we can start gaining life next turn. We could have chumped too. No. In a life gain deck list, they have Sheltered by Ghosts. We want 2 creatures on the board at any given time, right? And Sheltered by Ghosts isn't a death for the Sage, so we wouldn't get the 1/1 to be able to block. I Sheltered by Ghosts, right on time, right? This is why we wanted 2 blockers. Other words, we would have died that turn. We need a lot. We need something, dude. Okay, Dark Confidant would end up killing us. A spot removal for Vanguard. Nowhere to Run gets around the ward. If we draw on Desperate Measures, there's a chance we find a Nowhere to Run. We could get Dark Confidant down as a chump blocker. We could just say they're going to miss their second Sheltered by Ghost, get the other demon down. Try the same thing as last turn, right? All right. Let's see it, opponent. I think we're in so much danger, but I guess we were in danger from turn 1. From the very beginning. It's going to be the 4th mana. They still have a Sheltered by Ghost. No, guys. This is so rough, man. Oh, crap. Okay, well, Sephiroth. That's probably okay. That actually trades in unless they find the 3rd Sheltered off the top. Now we don't have any demons, so we're gonna have a little bit of a struggle here. Sephiroth, Linkbreaker, keep Desperate Measures open. They're at 51. I'm sticking around, man. Get some card draw on Sephiroth. Desperate Measures is open. Sephiroth is also some life gain, which is great news. Dark Confidant really can't come down yet. We don't want to die to that. Yeah. Keeping Desperate Measures open is really good. Because we can block with the 1/1. Healer's Hawk. Maybe we do trade with Sephiroth, actually. Get the Vanguard off the board. No, probably not. We block with the 1/1, then Desperate Measures the 1/1 to reestablish our hand. If nothing else, guys, we should really be showcasing the sustainability of the deck list, right? If nothing else here. Yeah, we need a way to stop the flyer too, the Healer's Hawk. Sephiroth number 2 is pretty bad, and we actually just find more mana. Well, I guess that's that. I guess we're going to have to block on the ground with Sephiroth. We can unlock Unholy Annex, but we don't want to die to that. We don't have any demons on the board. Sephiroth number 2 enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. Does the legendary rule happen before the sacrifice, or can we sacrifice Sephiroth? I think the legendary rule happens first. We could play Dark Confidant. Hold on, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. There's a chance Dark Confidant doesn't kill us. 3 in the air. Could play Dark Confidant, sacrifice the Dark Confidant to the Sephiroth, still have a block on the ground. Mana comes down. If we swing with Sephiroth on the ground, we start with that, right? And then we can still play the second one. See what they do with this. Get some card draw, go back up to 6. It's more mana. Oh no, guys, send help. Wow, they go for the block too. Okay. Get the second Sephiroth down and hope that they, once again, hope that they miss removal here. It's mana. We're in this, guys. We're in this. Take the block all day. They go up to 57. We go up to 8. Bloodwitch is pretty good. And we can, now that we're at 8, we can activate one of these and start restocking our hand that way. We don't really want to activate both, right? Down to 4. If we miss a demon next turn, we die. But we're seeing 4. No, we're seeing 2 extra, then 1. Yeah, just the one. Just the one for now. We should be as cautious as possible here. Infestation Sage. I can't believe how well we're doing. For what this was, for how unbalanced it seemed for the most of the game. Oh, they find more mana. Dude, that is such good news. So again, still no demon, so we're still struggling, but 2 extra cards here could be pretty good. Down to 2. If we miss the demon, we're gonna die. Rather a 3-turn clock, right? Than a 2-turn clock. But the extra card with Bloodwitch on the board. Well, I guess we can swing too, I guess, right? Yep, I went for activating the Unholy Annex. Down to 2. We see mana off the top. It wasn't worth the risk, bro. It wasn't worth it. Resplendent Angel from the opponent. A Bloodwitch is actually pretty good. All right. All right, so good game, opponent. Yeah, they take the 2 here. They don't want to block. Yeah. Yeah, good game, good game. Kind of my fault, right? We could have had a 3-turn clock instead. I went for the greed. But also we were drawing really poorly there. But also the opponent drew a little poorly in the mid game too, seeing a lot of extra mana. But they didn't see that mana earlier, so I don't know. Honestly, all the luck might have just balanced out. Yeah, even if we were on a 3-turn clock, we weren't going to be able to block the Resplendent Angel, which was just another flyer. So the opponent's evasion was incredible that game. A pretty neat version of mono white life gain with the leyline in there that we don't see very often. And that leyline was super brutal. All right, well, things aren't lining up well for us. I still believe in the deck list. I really do. I think we can easily get there. Also, guys, while I have you here towards the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, guys. Dude, no way, more life gain? What? What's happening? Oh, thank goodness we find our 3rd mana. I guess we'll establish Unstoppable Slasher. Which, by the way, it doesn't really matter how much life total the opponent had if we would have seen Slasher Bloodletter combo. Yeah, we did draw pretty poorly in that last game, didn't we? We totally did. Huh. Alright, so, Slasher is fine over Sephiroth. Worst thing that could happen, I guess, is... Yeah, I guess Sheltered by Ghosts is really bad, isn't it? Okay. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if they miss it. Because maybe we can get a swing with the Slasher. If we miss our 4th mana, we could still get Sephiroth Sacrifice Slasher. Ruin Lurker Bat still got 2 mana open, guys. They go up to 22 here. They swing in the air. Swing on the ground with the Sanctifier. I'll take the block, I think. It's worth trying, right? If they have a combat trick... Elspeth Smite. Oh, that's an exile. Oh, well, that would have just happened next turn off of the swing anyways. Okay, it was worth the try then, I guess. I think I'm going to get the 4th mana down. It's tapped, unfortunately, but... We could start with a card draw on Sephiroth. But I think, yeah, we're going to hold off on Sephiroth. We want the 4th mana on the board. We can get Infestation Sage and another Bloodwitch down. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Now, even though I wanted the 4th on the board, it doesn't mean it's for a 4-mana card. It means I value mana on the board. So, like, another 1-mana card, for example, off the top with the Sephiroth could be really good. Okay, Pridemate going up to a 5/5. Unholy Annex is pretty decent here. Them having double Sheltered by Ghost in that last game too for both of the demons was rough business. Alright, we start with some card draw on the Sephiroth. Pop the Infestation Sage. That'll get us some blockers in the sky. So with their 1 mana here, it could be another Elspeth Smite pretty easily, right? So Dark Confidant, not one of our 1 mana cards, but I'd say still worth getting the Midgar down, especially now if we find our 5th mana too. Getting a 6/6 demon is pretty good. Alright. Pridemate's a problem. Sephiroth gets picked up by the Sheltered by Ghost too. That's like definitely their grab too. So Sheltered by Ghost on the Pridemate. Yeah, that's a lot of life gain. What's up with 2 life gain deck lists in a row, guys? That's a little weird, right? They do swing in the air. We definitely 110% take this block. Or take the trade, I guess. I guess into Ruin Lurker Bat would take the extra damage, and I hope that's fine, because chumping the Pridemate could be really good here, too. We should probably get these out of the air, though. When we can. I go up to 31. The Pridemate is such a big problem, guys. Nowhere to Run doesn't hit it now. A Fell, we can pay all 4 mana. That would be pretty good. We do find our 5th, but now our 6/6 Ritual Chamber Demon doesn't block the Pridemate anymore. We could just go Confidant Unholy Annex, lose 2 down to 13, still have a couple chump blockers. Maybe we even block with the Confidant instead. Extra card draw, get a demon down next turn. Alright, I like that. I like that, right? How do you guys feel about it? Yeah, just mono white life gain, and maybe it has the new heal spell too. The tiered 1 mana card. Has some protection. We gotta visit that soon. And I think I'm gonna put the ley lines in, maybe as like a 2-of or something. Okay, down to 13. Chump the Pridemate, probably with the Confidant. I'd love to see more off the top, but Bloodletter as a 2-of out there is just really good. Exemplar of Light. Uh-oh. Okay, some card draw. Now they have their own way to restock their hand. Yeah, we could take 10, but then we could die to the Confidant. So I guess we could block with Bloodwitch, take the 1 in the air, keep the Confidant. Gain 2. Losing 1 of the Bloodwitch seems really bad, but seeing more off the top for removal is probably much, much better, isn't it? Oh man, really tough decisions. Just stuck between a rock and a hard place in a lot of these matches, huh? For real. Alright. Their creatures are getting boosted. I'd love to drop a Fell on the Pridemate, get the ETB on the Sephiroth here. It's going to be Desperate Measures, which isn't terrible. We do find a Fell, guys. Awesome business, man. Yeah. Get the Sephiroth back. Pay 4 mana. We'll have 1 mana open for a Desperate Measures. The sacrifice on the Sephiroth is probably going to be the Confidant anyways. It'd be awesome if Pridemate was already gone and maybe we'd have a good block in the air with the Ritual Chamber. Losing 2 at the end of turn 2 when we don't play the Demon. Holy cow, man. Lots to think about here. I guess number 1, mana, right? We can do that. Now we'll have 2 mana open. Popping the Exemplar would be really good as well. Because that would be, we could still get the Bloodletter down. And we'll start gaining from the Ritual Chamber instead. Popping Exemplar over Pridemate, we don't get the Sephiroth back. I think I talked myself into it, though. And we want to do it before they untap. Skrelv. Guys. Skrelv just chilling over there. I should have popped the Skrelv with the Desperate Measures first. For sure, bro. No, what have I done? Oh no, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Wow, that was something, huh? Right. So, no one saw that. No, no one saw me run face first into the Skrelv, right? Just look away. Leyline of Hope. Wow. All right. So maybe the same deck list. Like I said, I haven't seen too much Leyline of Hope in mono white life gain, and 2 deck lists in a row is pretty crazy. So now they can go ahead, activate Skrelv, call black on the Ajani's Pridemate, and then full swing. Since the Pridemate's a 14-13. So we would have been in danger either way, guys, for real. For real, we would have been in a lot of danger. So the 3 on the Healer's Hawk still gets through regardless. And we actually don't gain the Bloodwitch total back. Even if we did, we'd be at 0. So a lot of that was my fault. Right there at the end, we could have easily popped the Exemplar and maybe survived the turn. Instead of blocking Exemplar with the chump block, we could have blocked the Healer's Hawk instead. We were still really just stuck between a rock and a hard place. I mean, for real. I don't even know. If I would have played it out properly, didn't run face first into the Skrelv, how were we going to find a way out of that? You know, after they find the Leyline too to boost their wide board state? I don't know, man. I really don't. Guys, one more. I think we can end on a high note. I totally believe in the deck list. I totally believe in the synergies in here. I totally believe in the sustainability. As long as I can play it out well enough for you guys. And we go first here. All right, guys. Here it is. Let's do it. Go, go, go. Linkbreaker. All right. We got Golgari colors. Get down. Linkbreaker. Run. The good news about a cut down on Linkbreaker is at least it comes back as a mercenary. Yeah, they'd rather cut down on one of our 2 drops. So we start with the swing. If I had 3rd mana in hand, I'd be very tempted to wait. Actually, I'm not running into that cut down, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm going to save Desperate Measures for the turn. Yeah. Yeah, I've run into enough cut downs in my day. I'm ready for it to leave standard. I've run into enough of them. Get the mercenary back, restock our hand. Another Desperate Measures. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Finding the 3rd mana is pretty essential. Okie dokies. 3rd mana. And they want to pop both of our 2 drops for sure. So I'd rather see more off the top over the Bloodwitch right now, and I'd rather them pop the Confidant over the Bloodwitch too, but that might be a big mistake. Alright, yeah. I'll keep the Confidant. Against Golgari, we definitely need even more sustainability. So keeping Confidant as the one that survives is probably better. Alright, the opponent lets it land. Go for the swing. Might want all 4 Desperate Measures, guys. It's been an absolute MVP in all of these. It's been just incredible. It really has been. Sephiroth, very nice. Okay. Probably go Bloodletter, though, now. Cornucopia. Oh, Midgar. Bloodletter number 1. Opponent's down to 15. Come on, guys. This is it. This is the one. We can totally get there. This deck list has a lot of mythics, man. Deadly. Cover up number 1 from the opponent. All right. Right on time there with a little bit of ramp. I'm not worried about it. Let's keep going. Midgar. Yeah, we're going to save Midgar as something reliable for sure. Dark Confidant and Sephiroth is fine. I'd rather draw on the Sephiroth now, though. Come on, guys. I really do believe in the deck list. Another deadly cover-up would be pretty bad, but it would be even worse once the Bloodletter's on the board, too. Sephiroth is going to die to the end. Sephiroth is out of the build, guys. So we can't rely on that anymore. We still have Bloodwitch and everything, though. Another Midgar is decent. This is sorcery speed. 6 mana can come down. Can swing at the 1/1 draw too. Yeah. Keeping our hand stocked up over keeping a 1/1 on the board that could just die to more of their removal. Swing for 1. Midgar. We're going to go Confidant for the turn, and we're looking for another 1-drop. Beautiful business. All right. Bring it on, opponent. Bring on your worst. It's already... Your worst is already in the grave. Oh, full-powered Overlord being a 6/5 is really good for them. We do have the Fel for it. They still have mana to play for the turn. See an extra swamp off the Confidant, and another swamp. Wow, that's really bad. Okay. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. We don't even have to worry about the tapped land. We might as well just play the extra swamps and whatnot, right? So Fel on the Overlord, we pretty much know that we want to do that. It's their biggest creature. It's their only creature. I guess we could get Midgar down, keep extra things in our hand. No, I'll play the swamp, keep it open, because they know we have desperate measures. We know we don't have desperate measures right now, but they know we have it in the deck list. So we should at the very least keep them a little bit afraid. Alright, deadly cover-up. If we keep the insect, we can redraw on Midgar, so we still keep that sustainability, right? Doppelgang. Guys, they copy 2 of our Bloodletters. All of a sudden, we're in danger. Nowhere to Run doesn't hit it. Fel does hit one, though. Yes, okay. And Nowhere to Run is a combat trick as well. I'm like on the edge of my seat, dude. Just... okay. Okay. Fel. So it's not Golgari. It is Sultai Doppelgang, which has to be one of the scariest possible things to be up against right now. So full swing. I was thinking everything through there. Right. Full swing, they get a good block here. Nowhere to Run, protects the Confidant. Okay. This is good, guys, because they still have 2 mana open. It could have been anything. It could have been anything. And let me tell you, boy, oh boy, it could have been anything, man. That's their last card. Right. We should draw while we can, right? They didn't deadly cover up last turn. It's probably not going to be a deadly cover up this turn. We should just draw while we can, and I hope this is okay. Vengeful Bloodwitch. Okay. That's probably pretty good. Keep the cards in hand. Now we get a Midgar down tapped. That's a lot of mana, guys. It really is. Maybe we do want to drop to 23, but... And hopefully they miss the second Doppelgang, because I don't know if we'll be able to put up with a second one. They go Cease, so they do gain a little bit of life here. Off both cornucopias, too, they go up to 12. And they draw 1. They replaced the Cease. Gain 2, draw a card. Yep. Okay. Okay, man. I'm on the edge of my seat big time. Another Cease. They go back up to 20, guys. Holy cow. Holy cow, Restless Cottage is really good for them, too. Come on, we need something good off the Confidant. Woo! Unholy Annex. That is pretty good. That is. before combat Bloodwitch, right? We got to be very careful about that other deadly cover-up, which they might have all 4 of them in the build. Crawling Barons on the ground, I'm not worried about that. If they got Crawling Barons trading into Confidant, that's probably pretty good for us, actually. Power up the Barons. Oh, they tapped. Oh no, it's not a trade. Barons is a 4/4 because of all the extra Cornucopia mana. Oh, that was a mistake. They go down to 16. Bloodletter gets through for another 2. Crap, guys, this is bad, man. This is really bad. Do we play the Rot-Curse or do we play around the board wipe? And I think if we're in danger no matter what, guys, I called it Mono Black Aggro for a reason. We're trying to do the aggro thing and we're well into that late game. They play mana, they got 1 card remaining. They power up Restless Cottage. They go for the swing. They exile Fell. They get some food. I'm going to take the 4. Now they do have a huge Crawling Barons to block the Rot-Curse Rakshasa. Desperate Measures is pretty good. Can get an extra 2 in the air. We still go for the full swing regardless of the block with the Barons. Because we could stop other stuff from their hand too, right? Alright. Full swing. Like it might be Fountain Port. We got to remember they're gaining life on food too. No, they're going to draw off of it. They still have enough mana to power up Barons to a creature, and it'll be a 6/6, so still blocking the Rot-Curse really well. They go Outrageous Robbery for 1. They're going to gain 2, 3 off the Cornucopias here, back up to 13. So they still have 2 mana open. I guess we full swing. I don't know what they were looking for, but I do know that they potentially could have survived the turn with the crawling. Blocking the Rot-Curse. They were at 13. Crawling Barons would have been a 6/6. We would have gotten 8 through. The best we could have done is an extra 2 from the Desperate Measures. Unholy Annex, though, is also going to do another 2. So they were stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I guess at that point they were just looking for even more goodies off the top. Thank goodness we got there, guys. Look at the sustainability of the deck list. Just absolute incredible sustainability into that mid game. So much so we could probably call it mono black mid range. But as far as mid range goes, you want more removal. You want more maybe board wipes even, right? And this deck list is not the type of deck list where you necessarily want board wipes and stuff. Thank goodness we got there, man. Thank goodness, because I was worried. Sometimes it's really, really tough uphill battles. Today was one of those days. Yeah. Here's the deck list again. Woo, buddy. I guess put it on the do not craft list. More testing required for sure. So what that means, if you have the cards, give it a shot. Get back to me. Let me know. Does it do better for you than it did for me? Maybe you can play it much better than I played it too. And maybe it wasn't the deck list's fault today. If it wasn't, let me know in the comments for sure. More removal wouldn't hurt anything for sure, right? Your spot removal of choice really matters. So a couple Shoot the Sheriffs would be really good in here. I don't know what you would drop for it at that point, but the small demon theme is excellent. Whether it's, of course, Unholy Annex powers up with Bloodletter and the Rot-Curse, but then at 5 mana Ritual Chamber too. And with that amount of sustainability, it's not going to be unheard of at all to get to 5 mana. Even though this is an aggro deck list, we get into that mid game, don't we? And it's just not as aggressive as other aggro deck lists in Standard either, which, you know, arguably could be a good thing, actually, because we do actually have that extra sustainability. And one of the games I brought up how other aggro deck lists have like evasion, maybe they have flying, maybe mono green has trample, ways to give trample to things. Mono red has burn, ways to hit the opponent's face that way. If we just went big old chunky mono black creatures that seem aggressive, then I think that technically, I guess theoretically is the word I'm looking for. There's going to be a lot of games where the opponent clogs up the board state and you can't push the last couple damage through. So the concept here is to go mono black aggro, but we're doing the mono black thing by having sacrifice. So you can call it mono black sacrifice, of course, too, then, with Sephiroth and Bloodwitch poking the opponent's face as our creatures die. And then as our creatures die, we get more creatures on the board, which is a big part of that extra sustainability with the Desperate Measures. Desperate Measures also acting as some of the removal. In that second game of the opponent's playing life gain, I could have Desperate Measured the Skrelv and then popped their flyer. I ran right into the Skrelv. It was super embarrassing. If you guys were ever in doubt of me keeping the matches in, there you go, right? When we have terrible misplays like that. Except for recently, guys, we recently edited a stream into a video. That was the Farewell to Urabrask. So if you guys saw that one, let me know if you enjoyed that style, where I just I took the stream and I edited the best matches that showcased the deck list the best, right? And not just victories too. We also showcased some games where hyper aggro ran away with it. So, and that's important to showcase in my opinion, because that happens often with specific deck lists especially. Anyways, guys, that has nothing to do with this deck list. Holy cow. And we're almost an hour in, too. So, number one, going the Unstoppable Slasher route with the Bloodletter. Bloodletter, of course, I think if you're going mono black aggro and you're overlooking Bloodletter as the top end, I do think that's a mistake. And so once you add Bloodletter to the deck list for mono black aggro, it's a demon, so you might as well have those other demon synergies and stuff, and that also is a big part of the extra sustainability. Even just a 2 of Unholy Annex is really, really good in here, and usually when we see this demon route, it's definitely mono black mid-range demons, right? And since it's rotation proof too, we don't have the bigger and chunkier of the demons, and I guess the people who play demons are going to have to find substitutions for the Archfiend, which I think there might be some in Standard. I'm not 100% certain right now. I know Rot-Curse Rakshasa in mid-range demons doesn't make a whole lot of sense. A lot of mid-range demons are playing the Wall now, which is a 3/3 defender. Rakshasa does make sense, however, if you're trying to play aggro, and especially the Decayed working well with Bloodwitch and Sephiroth too. Dark Confidant is kind of disgusting, right? This was really good today, especially when you just rip more land off the top. Speaking of more land, guys, I would maybe drop a Midgar City of Mako down to 1, go to 23, and go up the Desperate Measures, but I'm actually not going to change anything. I really do believe more testing required. I think if we played the same amount of games that we just played, we could win more than half of them. We could have an over 50% win rate. I really do believe that. The whole time that we were getting obliterated, I just kept saying, I believe in the deck list, I believe in the curve, I believe in the synergies. So more testing required, for sure, dude. But yeah, put it on the do not craft list just because what we showcased today was pretty janky. If you already have all the cards, give it a shot, get back to me for sure. It's not the most budget friendly, but we do have some commons and uncommons in here, right? Yeah, it's a lot of rares and a lot of mythics, though. Dark Confidant, Rakshasa, Sephiroth, and Bloodletter are all mythics. Even Midgar's a rare, too, so. Alright, guys. Enough rambling, for real. If you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.